Hello and welcome to episode 1 of I don't know what this is called, but I'm interviewing Australia's number 1 artist and poet, number 6 dyslexic bisexual,
Yes.
number 2 athlete,
Yes.
says.
And number 1 poet.
I said number 1 poet, didn't I?
Said number 1 artist.
Fuck!
It's alright.
Fuck! How are ya?
Well, I'm okay. On the way here, I saw my ex. But I was like, okay, I look okay-ish usually.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, you know that fear where you're like, I'm gonna look like an absolute piece of shit, but you're like, oh, I'm alright.
But you're like, I'm on my way to a really important interview, so can't chat.
Yeah, I'm on my way to a podcast with a world-famous artiste, I would say.
Where?
That's my intro for you.
It's me.
Yes, and then I nearly got stuck in the elevator.
That was a bit scary.
That was
but we
just
got
me.
through that.
Honestly, I was like, this will be so funny though if I do.
I kind of wish you did.
But I have like mad claustrophobia, so it wouldn't.
Oh, okay. I wish you
that
didn't.
funny.
I'm gonna close this window. Now says. Just tell me.
It's a lot.
No, I have actual questions.
Yeah. I was like, free therapy again? Holy shit.
Says. You are years old.
Okay. Okay, wait. Don't say my age.
Oh, really?
I'm
Is it a secret?
Someone told me the other day, they're like, never say your
I know,
age.
I regret
So maybe
being
just beep it out.
I'll bleep it out. I
Yeah.
yap about my age so much, and then I'm like, I want to be mysterious.
Someone was like, there's a reason why you look up some people's ages and it's not there.
That's like Tones and I, on her Wikipedia, it was like she was either born in 1993 or 2000. We don't know. And I'm like, I should say I was born in 2000.
Yeah, I'm like 2002.
I could pull off 24.
100%.
Because I definitely wasn't born in 1993.
No.
I was.
Okay, fuck it. I'm alright.
You don't have to say it if you don't want.
Alright.
Okay, says, you are bleep years old. And you have lived quite a life. What's something about you that might surprise people? Maybe like something you've done in your life or just a fact about you.
Oh, God. Surprise people.
Because every now and then Sez will just be like, oh yeah, and then I lived here and then I had this job. And I'm like, what? You've done everything.
Yeah, I was pretty wild. Like, I feel like I did a lot in a short amount of time. Like, I went job to job to job. It wasn't, like, impressive. Like, I just got bored.
I find that impressive.
Yeah, I mean, maybe... I guess I've lived in different places. I've lived in the NT. I've lived in London. I've lived in Scotland. Melbourne.
Where'd you live in Scotland?
In this little village near Inverness. So, like, proper Highlands. Like,
I've been to Inverness.
yeah, it's like Outlander vibes.
It's so pretty.
So
Why'd
pretty.
you live there?
Well, I was kind of in my backpacker era, so
Oh, yes.
I was like, I'll go do a summer in Scotland and just like make heaps of money. And then all the money I made there, I went to Iceland.
Oh.
Yeah, and I spent like £9,000 in Iceland in like 2
Holy
weeks.
cow. How old were you?
I was 18.
And were you 18?
Yeah, I was wild back
Did
in
you-
the day.
And did you know at that age that you were... Maybe you didn't know you were Australia's number 1 artist and poet yet, but were you starting to get a feeling you might be?
Yeah, there were signs. There were signs, like I would be on a walk and I would see a leaf fall from a tree and I'd just be like, there's layers to that.
You'd
you
be
know
like,
what
there's
I mean?
something there.
Yeah, but the real, like, I guess the exclusive thing is if you just keep saying you're something, eventually you will do it.
What should I start saying I am so it happens?
It is, I will say though, like, warning though, if you do say that, like something like number 1 artist, there is a lot of flack that you might get.
Yeah. Do
and
people get mad when you say that?
I mean, I think when I've gone to like music events and I'm just like, I'm the number 1 artist in the country, a lot of people don't get that I'm joking.
Yeah.
And they really do be like, what the fuck? Like, I hate TikTokers. I hate
Do they say that
all
to your
this stuff.
face?
Yeah, because maybe they don't know that I'm just trolling them.
Yeah, or they
Yeah.
don't know you do comedy?
It's like a 50% troll, 50%.
Wow.
Like, my housemate is always like, yeah, I know you think you're joking, but like, I can see in your eyes you're fully serious.
Well, I kind of like that. Like, in Australia, it's very... You don't want to talk yourself up. Like, it's... People don't like that.
It's giving tall poppy syndrome, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's like a bit of a antidote to it. But yeah, I think when I first started saying it at like little open mics,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like doing like, yeah, and that's me, Australia's number one artist. They're like, there's two people here and no one laughed at you, shut the fuck
But
up.
I think it's like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't actually think I'm the funniest person I know, but I obviously think I'm a very
Come on.
good... Well, I think I'm like a really good comedian. Otherwise, like, why would I devote my life to it if I was like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why would I quit my job to pursue it if I didn't think I was great?
I think
Let's
you just,
be real.
Yeah, you gotta go balls deep into it.
You have to think you're good.
Like every month I'm just like, wow, this is another month that I don't have like real, like, you know, work experience. Like say if comedy didn't work out, the work experience is starting to fade.
I know.
Like if I applied for a job, they're like, what were you doing for those
Yeah.
years? And I'm like, so the thing is, like I have to do a full TED talk about it.
I
and
know.
they'd be
I
like,
can't
"What the
imagine
fuck?"
like if I had to go back to architecture now and they're like, what were you doing in these years off? I'd be like, making videos, making fun of you guys.
Yeah.
Is that
oh my
okay?
god, that's so true.
I know. I can't go back now because I've actually gotten more attention from the architecture industry since being a comedian.
God,
like
they
making
should
my videos
hire
and stuff.
you for like events and stuff. Like, isn't
I
there
am.
like
I
an
am doing some.
architecture?
I am next year.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't say that because it's not. Maybe I am. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
But it's true though. It's like, and even if there's been times where, like, I've been at such low points with comedy where I'm like, if I was rational, I probably would have given up. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I'll make it.
Yeah.
Back in like, I don't know, 2020 in New York, I hadn't done a gig in a year. And then I did one gig back and bombed so hard. And I was like, I'm going to make it. I'm like, and everyone else would have been like, no, you're not.
Yeah, what's the worst bomb you've ever had?
Last
Sorry to like
night.
ask you questions. Yeah, actually, I feel so bad.
Don't.
Can I give context?
Yes.
Okay, so Nick moves to Melbourne and he's like, oh, what's good nights to try material and stuff, and I just kind of vomit out a bunch of names, and I probably should have put like a paragraph under each night and been like, just so you know, here are some like factors. Like sometimes there's literally
to be
zero
fair,
allies.
You gave me a lot of recommendations, and that was just the first one that booked me. So that's the first one I've done. I'm sure all the other ones are good.
God,
I mean, that one was good.
so hard at that same night though, and it was so funny. And literally, like all the other comedians were just like laughing so much. And then I got this like weird rush of like, oh, this is so fucked that it's good.
Yeah.
But literally, I started like shouting. There's like once or twice where I will just shout at people in the audience, and I'm like, is this not enough for you? Is this not enough? And then I'm like, oh, just chill.
It's fun when you do that though.
Just chill. I'm like, you want to see that fat lady sing? You want me to talk about being dyslexic? And then they don't.
Oh, I feel like the more you perform,
Weird.
you just get more comfortable on stage, and then when you're bombing, you can just have more fun with it. Because when I used to bomb, I'd be like, oh, okay, well then I'll do this next joke then. But now I'll just be like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Guys, what's the matter? But
I had like
I've had
a
lot of
really
bombs.
bad bomb where I was playing guitar and my like the cord that plugs into the guitar literally unplugged and broke as I was bombing.
Oh,
and I was like,
no.
wow, my guitar is saving me in this moment. Because I was like, sorry guys, the guitar's broken, so I'm just gonna go.
Oh, that worked out well.
But then usually probably a year ago, I just keep playing and be like, fuck the microphone, fuck sound. Like, we'll do this acoustic like I'm Hosier or something. Like,
Right.
everyone be quiet. No.
That's a good, like, if I was like you, musical comedian, and I was bombing really hard, I'd just be like, unplug. Oops, it's broken.
Yeah.
Have to leave now.
The louder I'm strumming my guitar, the more, like, the louder the bomb is. Like, everyone's silent.
Wait, sometimes would you even know you're bombing because you're playing?
Yeah, like, I can see the faces.
Oh, true.
For sure. But, like, the other night there was this, like, bachelor party in the first row. And you know when the first row is really cooked, it's kind of like an energetic wall to the whole gig.
Yeah.
But also, this is something that comedians say when they're bombing. I'm like, oh my God, there was an energetic wall? You know, that's what went wrong. No, it wasn't very funny, but...
I've never heard that term.
Yeah,
I like that.
I always think in my head there should be like a comedian's helpline where it's like the energy in the room was a little off and that's definitely why. But no, these guys were shouting at me and I was just like, you're getting married soon, hey? You're going to get divorced in 3 months. It's not going to work out. And then I was trying to pull it back into a joke and I was like, sorry, this is...
When you do crowd work, are you really mean? Because I'm really mean. And I don't mean... I'll be like, Because I'm not that good at... I'm good at crowd work as characters, but as myself, I'm not as good. And I'll be like, oh, like, what do you do? And they'll be like, oh, I do this. And I'll be like, oh, okay. I don't really care. And like, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, that's boring. Anyway. And everyone's like, oh. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I feel like 10% of the time and I'm really mean. 90% of the other time I'm like, yeah, good for you. Like someone's like, I hate my husband and I hate my life. And I'm like, fuck yeah, slay queen, moving on. And
Yeah.
I'm stressed out for this audience. Like their lives seem a bit
Oh, yeah.
bad. Like I think at Sydney Comedy Festival, this old lady was up the back and she was like, I fucking hate my husband. And I was like, yeah. And then the whole room started clapping. I'm like, but where do we go from here after the gig, you know?
Like, how do we help her?
So I don't know if I'm looking towards marriage after that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not that anyone's offering.
Do people ever come to your shows and try to, like, what's the word? Hit on you afterwards?
There's been like a few times, I think, but I don't even know when people are hitting on me.
Me neither. I'm so bad. Remember that time at Cooper's when that guy kept talking to me and then he left and everyone was like, what are you doing? He was obviously trying to like, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Because he kept being like, so what are you doing? And I was like,
It's the arm touch. If someone like touches your arm, you're like, okay. But I have this thing where I'm like, I just don't want to accidentally sleep with someone who goes to heaps of comedy gigs.
Yeah.
And then I just see them pop up everywhere. I know other comedians like can sleep with everyone, but I'm like, I don't want them to see me bomb. Like,
oh, yeah.
What if I sleep with them and then we never talk again and they see me at a comedy night and I'm like, and this, and it's dead silence.
Yeah, true.
They're like, yeah, I fucked her and she's shit at comedy.
Oh, God. That they would never say that.
I never bomb though. Ever.
You never bomb. Says.
There's so much about you.
Well, we kind of covered a lot of these questions already. Says. The Australians said that you are as thought-provoking as Hannah Gadsby. Did you know they said that?
Yes, I did know that. And that was like 3 years ago or something.
Oh.
I think
that was before the Bog reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You could probably tell from the quote. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think it was like, I uploaded a few songs about my exes. And I think maybe 3 years ago it was groundbreaking to be like, men are shit. So I don't think I'm as thought provoking.
Yes, you do.
You
are.
Definitely not. I was literally like, you give shit head. And they're like, wow.
They were like,
a woman saying she's not enjoying the sex.
It's like
of a
Not
man.
Fair by Lily Allen.
Yeah.
That was groundbreaking. I think you're being too critical of yourself. I think you are thought provoking.
Yeah, I just think. Yeah, I am thought-provoking, but
the comparison.
not
well, I was going to ask two follow-ups.
Okay.
What kind of thoughts do you hope you provoke for the average punter/viewer?
God, that's such a good question. Probably, I guess, it's like, sounds cheesy, but I'd be like, just don't take life that seriously.
Yeah.
A lot of my songs are about me making like really disgustingly like horrific mistakes in my life and like, but making it funny, but you're probably like, why the hell would you do that? What's wrong with you? So I try to make people feel better and be like, the 20s are the trenches. You know what I mean? Make the mistakes. Who cares? I'd rather do that than get to like 45 and then cry on a Kentucky and like fuck someone I hate. You know what I mean?
I think you do a good job of that.
Yeah.
It's just all the things that we all do. And then we're all like, oh, why did I do that? But then when you hear a fun song about it, you're like, oh, we all do that dumb shit.
Definitely. Like, as soon as I do something, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to write a song. But then
do you feel better instantly?
Yeah, instantly feel better. But then I'm getting like so desensitized because all my songs, all my content are like, some would say like, you wouldn't usually share. But now I'm like, oh, I don't give a fuck at all. So how could I even go above the level of, I'm like, I'm shitting, I'm crying, I'm like,
are you trying to look for crazy situations to get yourself in now to make art out of them?
No, I
That's
think
good.
I don't really have to
that just happens
look
anyway.
at the moment, but I'm like queen of celibacy. So I can't really write any relationship songs. So
I'm queen of celibacy as well.
yeah, so the songs at the moment are definitely just like, what am I doing? What's going on? Life is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So we're going into that level of like just quarter life crisis, but that's been happening for like 3 years.
Are you gonna release an album?
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna do a whole thing. I think it's about time.
Well, that actually leads on to the next question regarding this topic. When should we expect your Nanette?
Okay. I hope that if you make a clip out of this, you put the part in where I'm like, I'm not. The Hannah Gadsby comparison is out of this world. Like, that person was obviously going through a breakup. And they were just like, wow, she's so ground. Definitely not. My next Nanette. Fuck, I'd hope just to even have like a slice of that vibe. I don't know, probably, I think I need a few more years of just life. And then when I turn 30, I'll be like, okay, I'm about to make the most insane hour of comedy. You guys are not ready. But
I could see like an album being your Nanette.
Yeah, I want to do an album and kind of have it like, this is my idea, but it's not an action yet. Basically, I debut like an album at the next comedy festival, and for each song I have like a little music video.
Cool.
And it's just like a big explosion of comedy and music, and I want to have a full band as well. But it's a lot of organisation, yeah. So I gotta start now because we've got like 10 months.
It'll be here before you know it. But we do have enough time. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but
Can I be in a music video?
I would love you to.
That's so cool.
Honestly, I think it'll be really fun. I just yeah, it's so funny though, the quotes you see in reviews. You're like, what the hell? What are we doing? And it's actually, I will say, I had such a mentee bee at the Melbourne Comedy Festival this year that I cancelled all the reviewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like, I can't do it.
No, that's a good idea. They really fuck with your head.
Yeah, I was like, I can just see it already. It's going to be like 2 stars, TikToker tries comedy, first gig ever, even though obviously I've been doing it ages.
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to ruin me. But yeah, next year I'll let them in. Let them in.
But I think that's a good call because like my first year got one nice review and one review of someone who was just, they decided before it even started what their angle was. They're like, he's trying to do a TikTok on stage, he's trying to go viral on stage. But then like the show was good, so they were like, look, it did work and the audience loved it, but you could just tell he was trying to do a viral moment. And I said, shut up. Shut
up. And it's funny as well because we don't really post many stand-up clips. I mean, I haven't posted one. I think I did post one once and then I deleted it because I got so scared.
It is scary because like when you're known for comedy in another format, people obviously compare your stand-up to that and they're like, no, I prefer the other thing. And you're like, oh God, is my stand-up bad?
Yeah, I feel like I have 2 lives. It's like content and comedy. That's not a good analogy, but you know what I mean. I'm like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
But then there's usually at the shows like half the people are like, yeah, and then the other half of the people are like, you can play guitar? That's crazy. I actually didn't think you were going to be good at comedy. I thought this might just be just a chill situation. I'm like, thank God you're saying that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay to have a mental breakdown.
It is okay.
Yeah, that's what I think people should take away.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
Also, I was just going to say, it's funny when, like, last night when I had this awful bomb doing stand-up, and then I'm like, well, you know what? This isn't even my main thing anyway. I make content. Like, you know, when you start being... And then when you have an awesome crush, you're like, yeah, there's more to me than content. I'm actually a good stand-up too.
Yeah,
but then when you bomb, you're like, well, actually, this isn't even the main thing I do. So, shut up.
I'm multi-hyphenate.
Yeah.
Okay? I think I actually like doing gigs in that way, because I'm like, at least if I bomb, it's like, in the room.
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
But sometimes in my head, if I'm bombing, I'm like, delete. Like I get this like chill up my spine that's like, I want to archive this. And it's like, it's real life.
It's real life.
You can't do that. But yeah, I think we're terrific comedians. Though.
Me too. But I do want to, I want to put more time into my stand-up and my joke writing. Like I know I like stand-up. I've done it for a while. 6 years.
You've done it for ages.
Yeah, and like I know I'm good at it, but I want to be better at it.
it's a mixture of like you've got to live your life a bit so you have
I know.
material, and then you got to spend time writing and all that.
Yeah.
jazz.
How often do you sit down and write?
At the moment, a lot, because I have come off doing like a lot of work, so I'm like, oh, I have time now, and I'm just writing a lot, making chord progressions and things.
Oh, cool.
So at least I try to do an hour a day, but
That's good.
sometimes I'm not actually writing anything. I'm just like, ew, and then I'm just sitting there for half an hour like, yucky, and there's nothing.
I'd love to see your process. Maybe for the next interview, I'll come to your house. You know, I don't know if...
You guys would be so fucking terrified of my house.
No, I want to see.
It's actually like, shout out to my house, love you, but like, what the fuck? It looks like a flat from like 2002.
When I drop you home after this, I'm gonna come inside.
Oh my god, no, not today. My room is so messy.
No, I want to see.
No.
Do you have
so
you seen?
bad.
I don't know. I know no one's meant to be a Sia fan anymore since she got cancelled, but I'm a big Sia fan.
What'd she get cancelled for again?
Well, she made that movie called Music,
Oh,
and she
yes.
cast someone who wasn't autistic for an autistic role, which was a huge
Christ almighty.
mistake.
Yeah.
But I think she's very talented. And there's this interview back like when Chandelier was a big thing, and they went to her house, and it's when she had like the haircut. They didn't show her face, but they're just like watching her process, and her piano player is like playing the piano, and she just comes up with a melody and she has like her hand on the piano player's shoulder, and she's just like dee 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 yeah, and I'm like, imagine if we went to your house, and I'm just standing there like, cool, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally so funny though. My housemates hate me.
Oh, well, that's why you should live alone.
Yeah,
like I do.
They can't know the difference between like comedy and then me maybe being serious, because maybe every now and then I'm like, I'm actually being serious musically.
Yeah, true.
But if I'm walking around, I'm like, skidoo-la-la, zoobie-doo. My housemate's like, this is, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just joking. But then maybe I'm not.
Yeah,
you know? I was actually trying to
what is like
sing.
the percentage of when you're making music and they can hear you making music? How often is it comedy you're making and you're being silly, and how often is it like real deep serious stuff?
At the moment, I reckon it's like 100% comedy.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, even if I write a serious song, I listen back and I'm like, this is just like, it feels like a parody of someone trying to be serious. It feels like Matt Corby like on meth or something, and I'm like, ew.
Anytime I just want to make something serious, it always feels like a parody just because of my face.
Yeah, like even I'm like sitting and I'm writing and I'm like, wow. Like,
I know, I'm like, this is funny.
like the monologue in my head of what I'm saying. But no, it's fun, I reckon.
You know, when I went to Dalesford on my own for 3 days?
Yes.
And like, I did a lot of comedy writing and stuff, but I also like wrote some serious stuff, and I was like writing lyrics and stuff, and I was like, this is hilarious. I'm in this cabin in the middle of nowhere, like, and it broke my heart. I'm like, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it is hard though, because then people like don't know when you're joking.
I know.
When you're serious.
That's been the biggest problem in my whole life. Well, actually, no, I've had bigger problems.
Yeah.
But everyone's always like, are you serious right now? I can't tell. And I'm like, I don't know anymore either. I have no idea.
You're like, you start doing like sketches where it's like someone being serious and no one's taking them seriously, but it's just you.
Honestly, anytime I do a genuine story time on TikTok about like if it's National Coming Out Day or just a story or mental health or something, everyone's like, is this a character? What's going on? I'm like, no. I get sad too.
I just want one moment to be taken seriously. Yeah, I get you. I think I love when you're being serious every now and then. It's like,
we're serious together a fair bit.
Yes.
Yeah. I think with other comedians, it's like we're silly a lot, but then we're also serious a lot.
Yeah, like I called you the other day and I was like, I need a trauma dump. Is consent confirmed?
And I said no.
No, you hung up and I cried for 2 hours.
No, I said yes. Okay, I don't have a question to end with, but I'm going to come up with one on the spot. Says, what would you tell... Oh no, that's stealing. That's a RuPaul question. I don't care. What would you tell 10-year-old Says?
The first thing that came to my mind was like, you're gay. Like, no.
You're a girly pop.
Probably stop playing netball because it's really fucked my ankles.
Oh, shit.
And I feel like I've had so many ankle issues. But that's just like a chill thing. Probably
That's
a
an important
serious
one.
thing. I'd be like, this is kind of wholesome.
Say it.
I would say, like, don't worry about the kids who are bullying you. They're just, like, not very cool and funny, and they're probably they are going to just end up like in a life that's really unhappy, and then they're going to post like really homophobic memes on Facebook when you're 23, and then you're going to delete them, and then they're going to follow you on TikTok and stalk you, and you're going to be like, I know you're a homophobe.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But
That's
that might be a
relatable.
lot for a 10-year-old. Wait, what?
They'd be like, what's Facebook?
What's TikTok? I'm like, okay, Kesha created TikTok. It's this app.
Yeah. Yeah, your 10-year-old self was like, slow down. Wait, what?
My 10-year-old self would not
Who's gonna
be able
stalk
to
me?
understand.
Yeah.
Like, you know how content's so like now?
Yeah.
It would be like, what's happening?
Yeah,
like,
true. We have such fresh brains
It's
at
like
10
a fucking
years old.
strobe light, some videos.
yeah.
It's crazy. I love it. But yeah, I just be like, keep being cute.
Yeah. That's a good
You're
message.
dyslexic too. Please tell a teacher.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I probably could have got better marks and shit.
That would have been good to
Whatever.
know. When did you know?
17.
17, after school. Oh.
Yeah. And I like didn't technically finish high school. I kind of gaslighted my way into getting like an estimate thing. But I probably could have finished high school. But look at me now.
Yeah. Honestly.
Stressful.
Well, guys, that's the end of the this is the first interview I've ever done. I had fun.
I loved it so
I had
much.
fun.
We were like a little bit giggly, but we were also a little bit serious, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank my guest Sez for coming to my house and letting me ask these questions. And yeah, I love you.
I love you too.